from WWL TV, the spirit of Louisiana. This is Louisiana's news leader, Channel 4's Eyewitness Morning News.
Are you at risk for diabetes? Hear how to use your cell phone to gauge your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Plus, we'll get some recipes for meals for those coping with the disease. If you live in the greater New Orleans area, there's a good chance you know someone who has type 2 diabetes. That's because 60% of the population has at least one risk factor for diabetes. And here's what's even scarier. Many people with the disease don't even know they have it. And joining me this morning with more on type 2 diabetes and the Txt4health program are Frances Hawkins, who is the president of the Congressional Wellness Division of the McFarland Institute, and Nebeyou Abebe, who is project manager for the Crescent City Beacon Community Program. And good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
And the American Diabetes Association has declared today Alert Day because so many people do not know they have diabetes, and this is an opportunity to give a wake-up call.
Right. It's a true wake-up call. Through the American Diabetes Association, we are telling them that they can take this risk assessment, a 7-element questionnaire, and answer the questions and get points for whatever they answer. And if they score 5 or above, then they are at risk. But we also tell them to check with your provider to see what type of risk you are in for diabetes.
And Mr. Abebe, tell us more about people can use their cell phones to take a risk assessment test.
Yes, so I have my cell phone here with me, and it's very simple. Text the word health, H-E-A-L-T-H, to 300-400, and all you have to do is enter your zip code and answer a few questions, and you'll know your personal risk.
And the reason why it's so important to know your risk, because we can put up the complications of diabetes on the screen right now. It can lead to heart disease and stroke. It can lead to high blood pressure, blindness, kidney disease, neuropathy, and amputation. So many conditions that can just be absolutely devastating. We can also put on the screen, and maybe you can discuss some of the risk factors that people need to be aware of.
They really need to be aware of the fact that they can really have total blindness for some of the risk factors. Anyone who's having any overweight problem, hypertension, a low HDL cholesterol, anybody over the age of 45, African American, Asian, Hispanic, Latinos, American Native, they are at risk. Any woman who's had a baby weighing more than 9 pounds with gestational diabetes is also at risk for complications with diabetes.
And one of those risk factors is not exercising regularly.
A sedentary lifestyle. Sally Ann, you know that a 7% loss of weight can really decrease your incidence of diabetes. That means that you would exercise at least 30 minutes a day for 5 days only. You don't even have to do the 30 minutes at one time. But if you would do that, change your eating habits, and just become more active and eat better, you would decrease the incidence of diabetes in your life.
And you have a program called the STAR program.
Oh, yes. Being vice president of the Congregational Wellness at McFarland, we started a 12-week faith-based initiative where we focus on telling people what they need to do in order to curb their ways of having diabetes or even hypertension. But the focus is really weight reduction and controlling your blood pressure.
And Mr. Abebe, talk a little bit about the Txt4health program, because this is an ongoing text messaging program.
Absolutely. So once someone texts in, they take the free diabetes risk assessment, they find out their personal risk, and if people who are flagged as being high risk are linked to free community resources, such as the STAR program that's going on throughout the greater New Orleans area. Today, in fact, all 10 Walmart locations in greater New Orleans will be promoting Txt4health throughout the day, getting people to enter the service and to find out their personal risk. And so there's a lot of things that we're doing, working with the community, working with the McFarland Institute, working with fraternities and sororities. It's really a community-wide effort to raise awareness about type 2 diabetes. Because that's really the first step. Once you're aware of your status, you can take action.
You can take action. Yeah. And since you started this Txt4health program in January, what kind of reaction have you gotten?
So we launched at the end of January, so it's been about 2 months, and we have 500 people already enrolled, which is 10% of our target goal.
All right. Well, we want to tell everyone you can learn more about the Txt4health program or sign up for it by going to Txt4health.com. And stay tuned after Laura's weather forecast, which is next. Eric's going to join Chef Simone Victoria in the kitchen to get some recipes for helping people with type 2 diabetes manage their disease. And Laura, tell us all about it.
Sounds great to me. I'm ready for some cooking in the kitchen. We'll get to that in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much. Right now we're at 7:46 in the kitchen. We told you about the Txt4health program, so you can know your risk for type 2 diabetes. And if you want to change your diet, we have help. Chef Simone Victoria from the culinary instructor at the Job Corps is in the kitchen to help us. And you teach every day, don't you?
I do. I teach Monday through Friday.
And you teach, how young are your students?
They're between the ages of 16 and 24. They get their high school diploma or a GED, and then they get a trade, either culinary arts or a medical trade.
And so, and a lot of chefs are doing this these days. It's all fresh, all as much locally grown as possible.
Exactly.
You want to get as close to from the garden to the table as possible, or from the lake or the Gulf or whatever is possible. And that's what you're talking about today.
Exactly. Exactly. So right now I'm going to do tomato salad. It's Roma tomatoes and Creole tomatoes here from Louisiana, and then some cherry tomatoes, and we have Bib lettuce. Like you said, fresh is always best, so we made a little vinaigrette with red wine vinegar.
And a lot of healthy eating is pretty much just common sense.
Exactly.
You know, and if you deep fry it, it's probably not going to be healthy.
Right.
It's probably going to taste great, but it's not going to be healthy.
Well, and then it's just mostly, you can't have deep fried every day.
Yeah.
Like my weakness is deep fried, so we have to have the fried fish.
It's all
and we
of our
have
weakness.
So it's, you know, don't have it Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You can have it on maybe Friday.
Maybe once a week or something like that.
Right.
But
So
then the
it's
rest of the
about
week,
your
try and eat
intake.
as many fresh vegetables and things as possible. And in our 8 o'clock hour, we'll be grilling some salmon as well. But you're making a tomato and lettuce salad?
Tomato and Bib lettuce, yes. So we take some of the Creole and Roma tomatoes and the cherry tomatoes, and I love color, so everything I do has to make a statement.
And again, we do eat with our eyes, so the more appealing it looks, the more you'll probably enjoy it.
Exactly, and the red wine vinegar, it has
So excuse me, but I kind of missed it. Now, what's in your dressing again?
Okay, so I put a little red wine vinegar, a little garlic, because I like the spice. I use different herbs instead of salt and pepper, because you have to take away from the salt and the sugar. So to bring up the spice a little bit, I put a little garlic, very little salt, very little pepper, and a little olive oil, and mix it together.
And that's much healthier than some of the stuff you buy in the store, because a lot of times you'll get a salad, even at a fast food place, and think, well, I'm doing better than getting a burger, but sometimes it has more calories and more fat than something else.
Exactly. So we're just going to drizzle it over the salad, and not too much dressing. It's just enough to make it wet. That's another problem we have. We drench our salads.
And those colorful tomatoes are just, I mean, they really do help it.
Yeah, and they're very sweet.
Make it appealing to your eye.
Yeah, they're very, very sweet, the yellow cherry tomatoes.
So that's really a simple dish for a salad. And then now the asparagus is going to go with the
asparagus is going to go with the salmon.
Okay.
We're going to add a little feta cheese for salt. Like I said, I use other ingredients instead of salt and pepper. So cheese does a lot of the salt. I use the garlic for the pepper. We're going to put a little some sunflower seeds for crunch. You got to have the texture.
There you
so
go.
we're going to put a little couple sunflower seeds there, and there's your salad. It's real easy.
I could wolf that down right now.
Yes, you can.
All right, a good diet can help you from developing diabetes, and even if your family has a history of diabetes, if you'd like to learn more about your risk for type 2 diabetes, remember you can log on to Txt4health.com, Txt4health.com. It's simple to go to, and you can learn a lot of stuff on that, and you'll be cooking salmon for us the next hour, right?
Yes.
All right, looking forward to that. Coming up in this last hour of the program, we'll be in the kitchen talking about decreasing your risk for developing or coping with type 2 diabetes with a healthy meal. In the kitchen this morning, Chef Simone Victoria, who has some great recipes. She's made a salad for us, and she'll be doing salmon for us coming up. Thanks, Mike. Right now we're at 8:20. Heart disease, high blood pressure, and amputation are some of the complications caused by type 2 diabetes. But a lot of that can be avoided by the way you eat. So if you have type 2 diabetes, you can manage it. If you want to prevent type 2 diabetes, you can do that too by altering your diet, exercising, things like that. And we're in the kitchen now with Chef Victoria. And you're from the Job Corps. You teach cooking over there.
I do. I
to
teach
kids.
I teach
I
culinary
asked
arts.
Victoria. I'm looking at some of the stuff she's doing. I'm saying, do you have a class for adults? Could I go? But it really is good. And you did a salad for us in the 7 o'clock hour.
Correct.
Which was a great salad. And now you're doing salmon. And I love the way you're preparing the salmon.
Yeah, so it's going to be salmon baked in parchment paper, and you're going to use the parchment paper as like your dish.
And you get that at any store?
Any store, yeah, right at Walmart or Rouse's,
Rouse's,
whatever.
any
Yeah.
place, yeah. Okay.
So what we're going to do, we cut the parchment paper into a little heart shape, kind of
Well,
like a
sort of
heart,
heart shape,
kinda,
like an
sorta,
oval bagel.
right? And you're going to cook the orzo the way it is prepared on the box.
On the label, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And we're going to put a little orzo on there.
And now why orzo as opposed to rice or brown rice or something like that?
Well, because the rice or potatoes is kind of starchy, which
Okay.
gives the sugar.
So you like the orzo?
Yeah, I do orzo or couscous or something like that. I just
All
like
right.
to try different things.
Then you take a piece of salmon?
So then we take salmon and place the salmon.
And you take the skin off it?
Yeah, skin off.
Okay.
And then just place that on top. You do your fresh herbs.
And which herbs do you
So
use?
I'm going to use tarragon and a little thyme.
Okay.
Just a few
And talk
sprigs
about an
of thyme.
easy dish to make. And then you put a little lemon on it?
We put a little lemon and lemon butter. So I made the lemon butter. It's just lemon zest, lemon juice, a little butter. You roll it into a log.
Okay.
And
if you don't want to do
then-
all that, can you just put like a pat of butter on it?
You can. You just
Okay.
can put and I use unsalted butter. So,
And if you want to avoid that, you can just leave it off.
well, you need a little something.
Okay, you need a little something. Sorry. Didn't mean to be a chef. That's why I need those lessons. And then you put the asparagus in there?
You put whatever vegetable you like. I like
Okay.
asparagus or cauliflower, but like I said, I like color. So I have my orange salmon, my lemon, my green vegetable, just a little salt and pepper to taste.
Okay.
Don't go overboard.
And do you like sea salt as opposed to table
I
salt?
use Mediterranean sea salt
Okay.
or kosher salt. I don't too much do table salt.
And then a little garlic?
Yeah, I slice a little garlic on
That
there.
sounds good. And then you just wrap this up, pop it in the oven for 12 minutes at what
Wrap it
temperature?
up at 375, and you just twist the paper so it can close, right?
And can we show what happens after 12 minutes?
Yes.
At 375. Do
So
it
once
really
you twist
quick?
it,
Yeah.
you just cut it open, and you tear it open.
Now that looks wonderful.
Yeah.
And in only 12 minutes, and it's all very, very, very healthy. All right, today is Diabetes Alert Day. If you didn't know, you can sign up by texting HEALTH to 300-400. You'll then receive weekly texts with information to help you develop healthy habits and decrease your chances for developing type 2 diabetes. And it's a free risk assessment tool, so you can check that out. And you did a great job, Chef. This looks
you.
wonderful. We
Thank
learned a lot,
you.
too.
Yes,
Cooking it in parchment paper like that is wonderful.
Thank you, thank you.
Sally just wants to know if she can deep fry it.
This is great. Thank you so much. Have a great day,
See
everyone.
you at noon. Bye-bye.